Psychological facts about quiet people. Quiet people aren't necessarily shy. They just prefer to know more about a person before engaging them in excessive conversations. Quiet people and introverts despise small talk. They prefer intellectual and thoughtful conversations instead. They tend to think a lot before attempting to contribute to a discussion or answer a question. That makes it seem like they don't want to talk. Quiet people typically despise phone calls because it ultimately leads to unnecessary conversations. Testing an introvert is almost always a better option. Since introverts tend to want to spend a lot of time alone, people misinterpret it as anger or depression, which is typically not the case. Why quiet people love having a lot of time alone? They don't want to be alone at all times. They also enjoy the company of others, but much lesser than extroverts. Introverts tend to be more creative than regular people. This tendency is not unrelated to the fact that they spend a lot of time alone, which gives room for engaging in creative activity. Quiet people tend to be more independent and self-motivated, making them prefer working and studying alone. Introverts don't enjoy parties as much as extroverts do. While they can tolerate attending a party once in a while, they are not party poopers by any means. Since people associate quietness with inattentiveness, and inattentiveness is usually associated with disrespect, people tend to think quiet people are disrespectful, which is usually not the case. Quiet people like to act cool. When faced with unsolicited provocation, they either come up with a perfect response or they keep quiet. Introverts interest themselves in a wide variety of topics. They tend to know something about every trending topic for this reason. Quiet people are generally better listeners since they are less likely to interrupt a speaker in the first place. Quiet people tend to have a lot fewer friends than the average person. They spend time making friends that best align with their values, and their few friends are often close friends. Introverts are more likely to think about the long-term effects of their decisions compared to extroverts. On the contrary, outspoken people are more likely to make spontaneous decisions. While quiet people are more likely to be depressed, they are also likelier to recover from depression because they don't need a lot to be happy. Introverts are very much willing to talk if the topic is something they enjoy talking about. The more thoughtful the topic is, the more likely that the quiet person will be willing to talk about it. Pretending to have extroverted tendencies can have negative impact on the productivity of a quiet person. Introverts may find it difficult to make friends and create connections, but it doesn't mean they don't try. They also attempt to create connections with people, even if they are bad at it. Quiet people don't necessarily have agoraphobia. While there is a chance that some do, it's usually just a coincidence and not the regular case. When quiet people socialize with friends, they expand energy, which they can regain by spending time alone in quiet. Quiet people are more likely to have better relationships than extroverted people because they tend to listen to their partners, which is a crucial contributing factor to successful relationships. Quiet people waste less energy on every conversation and interaction because they rather not have them in the first place. It's easier for a quiet person to concentrate on a particular task than an extrovert. Quiet people are often more self-aware than outspoken people. When everyone is lost in heated conversations and arguments, they disconnect to pay more attention to themselves. Being quiet can help in brain development, since the brain develops when you put it to rest. The associated development is excellent for preventing brain issues like dementia. Most introverts are self-sufficient, since they are not used to the practice of asking people for what they need. They tend to learn how to get it themselves. If a quiet person ever needs help, they rather seek it from a friend or close relative than from an outsider. The fear of crowded places is not synonymous with quietness or introversion. In most cases, introverts are perfectly capable of enjoying themselves in parties and other crowded places. Introverts don't like being the center of attention as much as extroverts. They rather observe as a third party rather than dive headfirst in any situation. Quiet people are more likely to know all the secrets because people trust them to keep quiet like they always do.